Welcome to the Saturday stream. Hope everyone's having an awesome Saturday morning. Hey Mono, how's it going? Hey, Vanilla Bean, hope you're doing alright. Anyways, Chris, Charmax says we have 7 days left. This is in regards to the Tom Tillis thing. We're gonna go ahead and just take a moment here. So yes, Mono, this stream for the next, week or so, will be sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, which you can of course download to help the channel for free. Link will be periodically set in chat. Also exclamation raid. Basically the purpose of this is just simply to open the doors for a better sponsorship. Oh man. The raid fellows will never get to me. They got to me. Please no. Yes, it's a small sponsorship, okay? It's not a big deal. Alright? It's a small sponsorship. They blew it by advertising too much. Yeah, I don't like I'm not sure. Did the link work? Yeah, let's try it. Okay, it seems like it worked. It's a YouTube video. And oh no, it's ads. All right. So yes, I am taking a small sponsorship just so I can open the doors to others. I want a hey Heat, how's it going? I want a sponsorship with computer parts. That would be awesome. Yeah, sorry about that, Gaming Mind. It's gotta be done. It's gotta be done. This is, by the way, this is all thanks to you guys. We wouldn't even get offered this through Stream Elements if it wasn't for you guys. So is it gonna show me what's the deal here? I only stream games for fun. True. New tab. Okay. So really quickly.
To be a little. What is up, you guys? I'm Charmix, and this video is going to be a little bit of an update regarding a massive situation going on. Why am I sweating? Why am I sweating? What the frick? Why is it so hot? Frick me, man.
Whoa.
Okay. This video is going to be an update regarding a massive situation going on right now with the government, and they're trying to pass a bill that could destroy the internet. Now, this bill was introduced by Tom Tillis, or Thom Tillis. I think that's how you say his name. It's a really weird name. Nonetheless,
how's it going, Heat?
It was introduced by him.
Hope you're doing alright.
And it was snuck into the financial package that is being voted on right now to try to fund the government. And this package is a must-pass package where, you know, you gotta fund the government. So it's a must-pass. It has to get signed. So Thom Tillis, or Tom Tillis, however you say his name, decided it was a great idea to sneak this massive copyright DMCA bill into this must-pass package to try to get this.
Okay, so just quick spoiler alert. A lot of senators and a lot of Congress people usually take that opportunity because it's a must-pass bill. It will take the opportunity to put in these ridiculous requests, usually by their donors, into these must-pass bills. Okay, so this is not like a new concept. However, the fact that they're seriously trying to make DMCA a felony charge is just beyond me.
This thing passed. Now, yesterday was actually the deadline to vote on this package, and the vote was, I think, inconclusive. And what I mean by that is that they didn't vote yes, but they didn't vote no. Basically, they've put an extension on the time to come to an agreement. So instead of, like, having the agreement yesterday...
Wait a minute. I'm gonna pick up some decorations for Christmas. Nice. I'm gonna actually check out some trees later on. Did my subscription go through? Wait, you subscribed? Hold on. Wait, Astria. First of all, how's it going? Second of all, Where is it? I don't see the alert and I don't see the activity feed. Boo, is Twitch messing up again? Either way, if you subscribe, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate that. That's kind of weird though. Why would it... Okay. Because I don't see my alerts and I don't see it on the activity feed. Either way, if you just subscribe, thank you so much. Just now? Yeah, it's not showing up. Let me refresh. Hang in there, we're loading your activity. Nope. Just says my last follow 2 days ago. That's weird. Okay, something's going on here. Happened to my other friends. Oh, wait. There it is. There it is. Thank you for this. Thank you for the, gifted sub. Thank you so much. And we got an extra emote. Look at that. I don't know. It's on some kind of weird delay. Sorry about that, Astro. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Off already to a good start. 1 out of 3.
I think it's been extended by a week. So I think by next week, we'll find out if this DMCA copyright craziness bill gets put through or not. So I just kind of wanted to provide you with an update on it because I know a lot of people were wondering, you know, is the internet screwed? Is it not screwed over? I don't understand how these massive companies like YouTube, friggin' TikTok, Reddit, friggin' you name it, haven't been lobbying against Tom Tillis's bill. How come they haven't been putting money against it?
Who do you think gave him the money?
If this bill goes through, it'll destroy TikTok, which maybe that's a good thing. Some people don't like it. I don't know. I find some of the stuff on there to be quite funny, though. But nonetheless, it'll destroy TikTok. It'll destroy Reddit, which maybe that's another good thing, you know?
Wait, Reddit? Why
yeah,
Reddit?
so if this bill goes through, the internet's destroyed. And we have, I guess, a week to try to stop Tom Tillis. Or so, you know, maybe you can reach out to him. I think he's on Twitter. Maybe you can reach out to him and ask him to stop this bill, repeal the bill.
Yes. Listen, not every one of us, not every representative or government official does things via Twitter, okay? No. Listen, Charmex. What you should be doing is actually writing to your representatives, and if Tom Tillis is your senator, or is he a senator or representative? I'm pretty sure he's a senator. If he's your senator, you should be calling his office or making a written petition, which often has more weight to it.
DMCA copyright bill. You could reach out to your your local representatives or whatever to get them to not vote for Tom's bill. You know, there are things we can still do, and we kind of have more time now. We have an extension to stop this. Insanity.
It's a couple of days.
So yeah, with that being said, I think that's it for this video. I hope you guys liked it, and with that being said, I'll see you guys next time.
All right. So, Heat, just really quickly, what it is a update to the DMCA law, which basically would say if you violate the DMCA, it would now be a felony instead of like a misdemeanor. You could technically face prison time, just for playing copyrighted material. So obviously, that's a problem. Yeah, exactly. What? That's what I said. I subbed myself, but I also gifted one? Hold on. What is going on here? Okay, but I see you gave you tier 1 community sub. I don't know. That's just so strange. But you have the sub badge. And you have the gift sub. So why didn't it show up? Okay. Twitch be twitching, I guess. I'm not sure what exactly happened there. Sorry about that, Astria. But I do appreciate the, wait. There it is. There it is. Thank you for the subscription. 2 months going. Wow, thank you so much, Astria. See, there it is. I don't know. It's like on a super delay. Lag. Yeah, it's on a super delay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all the support. Look at that. Two. Just bam. Right out the gate. We're running hot today. Thank you so much for all the support. I appreciate that. So Go Past Tech is rating with a party of 3. Wow! Oh, wow! My goodness, we're off to one heck of a start today. That's for sure. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How's it going? Hope your stream was good. Hey, Lord Fridas. Oh, quickly. Hey, guys, before I forget, did anybody get any pre-roll ads? Please, if anybody can see that, if anybody can tell me, did any of you recent raiders get any pre-roll ads? Love the emote. Whose emote is that? The little kitty cat? Glitch cat. Oh, this is from Twitch. No? Alright. Okay, so it works. Pro tip, if you're an affiliate streamer, pro tip, try running ads at the beginning of your stream and towards the middle to take out pre-roll ads for a good chunk of your stream. Today we learned about Island Nations. That was basically a theme Island Nation history. Nice. Cool. Cool. Do focus a lot on history streams. I just found it. Yeah, it seems like a kitty cat emote from Twitch. Nice. So was I helpful? Yes, thank you for posting that video. Thank you, I appreciate that. Crash Sony Vegas trying to make a carp meme. Oh man, by the way, speaking of Sony, they had to stop Cyberpunk because it was crashing. Is that what you're referring to? Oof. They had to stop Cyberpunk. Game wasn't too bad for you? Alright. I heard that it's like very hardware intensive. So, sold out to the Corpo Gods and got Stadia version. I was playing 60 FPS on a laptop with no GPU. Well, that's probably the easier way of doing it, right? Considering if you don't have the firepower, you can just do Stadia. What was their logic behind releasing a game that runs 15 FPS on the first gen Xbox One? Like, yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Listen, I'm right now on 60 FPS, okay? And they couldn't manage that one. The developers or whoever made the decision here didn't really think that one through. Honestly don't think this bill will pass because I don't think business wants to risk losing money. Yeah, I honestly, the chances of that particular bill passing is very low. It's still it's still worth noting the fact that they actually tried to pass this bill. Hey Darknet, I found out my Bitcoin is worth a ton of money now, so I guess I'm getting a baller gaming PC now. What? Nice. Nice. Hey. It's all about our corporate overlords. True. Yeah, I don't know. It's because, like, okay, so just to be clear, that bill was passed. Sorry, that bill was going to be passed as part of the omnibus stimulus package and was pushed by the RIAA, the media companies, the record labels and stuff like that, who are always lobbying for, you know, tougher crackdowns on DMCA or copyright stuff. So just to be clear, they were the ones who were pushing for this. So I don't know. They extend the deadline again. Last time I saw they needed to pass by yesterday. Yes, Austria, they did. Currently, we're still fighting about whether or not the people deserve stimulus checks or not. We're still on that topic, by the way. In fact, I'm pretty sure we had like we had like updates on that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is where we are. Stimulus check update. Congress passes a 2-day bill to avoid government shutdown. Let's see if they talk about any other updates. This is kind of like the local newspaper. Congress passed a 2-day stopgap spending bill on Friday to avert a partial government shutdown and buy more time for frustratingly slow endgame negotiations on almost $1 trillion COVID-19 economic relief package. I mean, like, I still don't get it. It's like, you realize, like, we need this, right? This isn't like an option in terms of like trying to get this economy back, trying to get this economy going, right? This isn't like optional. We're trying to make sure that the economic impact of COVID is as little as possible. And it's like this is way harder than it needs to be. I mean, imagine having an entire delay from, and there's plenty of blame to go around. Plenty of blame to go around, and we're still debating on whether or not the people need a stimulus check. I need some ADifficultTruth gear in my life. Plus, wouldn't they want free advertising to save money? Yeah. They won't pass a stimulus bill till Biden gets into office. You'd think so, but like, what is the point of that? Yeah, Vanilla Bean. There's a lot of, if you actually talk to some of the gaming companies and some of the gaming developing countries, developing companies, they say it's actually really good for them when streamers play their video games and get that video game out there for new eyeballs to see, right? Like, for example, there's 15 of you here, more or less. Or yeah, there's 15 of you here. That's 15 people that would be seeing, whatever video game you're playing or whatever you want to advertise or whatever song you're listening to or whatever video. Like, specifically video games and YouTubers love when streamers play their stuff because it exposes, like, I've never heard of this person. Even though they have 1 million subscribers, I've never heard of this person at all. And now about 15 of you know this person, including myself. So it's like, yeah, of course these people love the exposure. They usually play big streamers to play their games. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Charmex is a reactor, like a React Andy. That beanie is giving him power. Is that it? So all I have to do is like wear permanent beanies, and I will gain power. Is that what it is? Is that what's happening? Guys, I think I solved it. I think what it is the beanie, folks. That's what it is. The beanie is what translates into power. Okay? Now you can use that beanie for good, or you can use that beanie for bad. But I'm convinced. The next votes are anticipated as early as 1 p.m. on Sunday. So tomorrow, we'll get another try at this. He reacts to videos on YouTube. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, like a React Andy, basically. The the beanie is holding the power. The beanie is holding back the power from your amazing hair. Yeah, I don't know if the world is ready for that one. I have done streams where you could actually see the entire length of my hair, so there's video evidence out there. Although now I'm probably gonna have to nuke my entire I'm gonna probably have to nuke my entire VODs because of this DMCA nonsense. Who is Grunt726? How do I see my... Oh, shoot. Are we serious? Did I not save it? Yeah, I still have a copyright claim from my other stream. So I'm gonna have to fix that. See details. I hate this DMCA stuff. Trim out the segment. Yes, the 1 minute segment. The 1 minute segment out of a 2.5 hour stream. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, Grunt726 was my original channel that I started on Twitch. What? Oof. Years ago? Probably at this point it would be 3 or 4 years ago. I actually started a Twitch channel called Grunt726 that has my old... If you go to the Discord, that's my profile picture. It has the old profile picture. To play video games, I played strategy games. I played strategy games from Empire Earth to Halo Wars, and occasionally I would play StarCraft, but I kind of wasn't feeling it. So maybe one day I'll restart that channel. Also, work kind of stifled my gaming personality, preference. I don't know what you would call it. I think Tillis is being a baby about all this stuff, and the chance of the bill passing is almost next to nil. Yeah, it's all it is just him making sure that he did what his donors told him to do, right? Like that's what it is. At the end of the day, that's basically what it is.
Change the world.
Whoa. Change the world.
Change the world. My final message. Goodbye.
Carp. Don't worry. We are gonna try to change the world. A little bit at a time, right? So is this part of what's delaying the stimulus bill from being passed? I don't think so. I think honestly the real problem, Astria, is they are fighting about the stimulus checks. The actual stimulus checks. I think that's what they're fighting about. Yeah, I don't see what the real what the real holdup is, but basically from what I've seen is the biggest problems that have been encountered. So you know what? That might actually be even more dangerous because that means that nobody's really paying attention to this. And if this DMCA stuff gets, snuck through, that's gonna be wild. That's gonna be ridiculous if nobody's been paying attention to this and it kind of just sneaks in there. That could be a problem. In other words, like I would have to. Oh man, can you imagine if that happened? Jesus. Essentially, essentially what would happen is I would have to become completely musicless unless it's for what is it? Stream beats, which I know is 100% DMCA free. I can't do anything else. I would probably just be, be walking on eggshells if if DMCA violations became law, if DMCA violations became felonies. Jeez, I can't even imagine. Okay, chat. Can somebody briefly fill me in on what exactly is going on? Because I keep seeing references to this. I keep seeing references to this online, and I don't really I don't really spend a lot of time on Twitterland, and I don't exactly trust the characterizations of how sometimes people, put things on Twitter. What exactly is going on with this whole Jimmy Dore drama? Okay, because I'll be very clear. I think that Jimmy Dore is a little bit unhinged. I think that he's unhinged, and he has said a lot of cringy stuff. And now apparently there's this whole drama going on Twitter world, because of course this would only exist in Twitterland, from what I see, and I just have a hard time grasping really what's going on here. Smart man, I don't exactly prescribe to the characterizations of how sometimes people post things on Twitter. So yes, I understand that Jimmy Dore is probably unhinged. He has been called, and I think I could, probably agree. He's been called like kind of like a left-wing Alex Jones kind of deal, and I think from what I understand, the TLDR is he proposed an idea that the squad should withhold their votes from Pelosi in order to get a vote on the floor for Medicare for all. Now, on the surface, like sure, okay, but like, what is the actual practicality of deploying said tactic, right? Like, so what, you get a vote on Medicare for all, you force a vote on Medicare for all, it fails, and then people like Nancy Pelosi or even the Republican Party can say, hey, look, see, it failed. There's no we don't need to address this issue anymore. It seems like this bill will never pass, right? And kind of just shut down the conversation instead of slowly grabbing allies and enough push to be able to actually have a force a real vote on a program such as Medicare for all. So I don't know what exactly is the idea here, but if somebody can just kind of fill me in on that. Jimmy Dore's just mad that Tulsi lost. Oh man, listen, I'm so glad after January Tulsi Gabbard is basically going to be irrelevant. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Isn't that cool? I've never seen that live on stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Oof. Thank you. I've actually never seen that alert live on stream. Oh man. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I didn't put your name. It's all good. So we should still be worried about the Tillis bill passing. I think that there's like I know that I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know because I don't hear anybody else talking about it except us, right? Like, you know, the people who are involved in this, in a content creator community, the people who are involved in the streaming community, but I don't see like lawmakers specifically saying that they're going to annex that out of the bill. So it might end up on the final one. I don't know. Who knows? Thanks for the follow, Tumble Dryer Maya. Thank you so much, Heat. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Man, you guys have been so off the chain today. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look at that. We just hit the ground running with two subs. We got that awesome raid. We got that merch drop. Wow. You guys are what makes this thing go. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. I keep doing stop DMCA on Twitter. Yeah, but that needs to be done that needs to translate into real action. Like what I would probably advise is contact your representatives, contact your senators, and send petitions, like actual written petitions, or contact them by phone, which I probably should do that, right? Because tomorrow's the vote. How do we do this? Contact local, no, not local, congressional representative. I'm scared of us being doomed. So the worst that can happen, let's say that, you know, worst case scenario. Wait, are you a content creator, Revanilla Bean? Is it Revanilla? Revanilla Bean? Are you also a streamer? I used to be? Oh, okay. English games once in a while? Oh, okay. So, if you plan to continue doing that, I would say to just use DMCA free music. Go to Spotify and look up Stream Beats. And just do that, and, you know, not play any game with music in the background, like the video game music. Just use Stream Beats. Oh my goodness, look at that. Isn't that cool? Oh, I love this alerts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Then people are building off their brands as this type of content without prepping for stuff like they're building houses on sand. To a degree, yes. To a degree, yes, of course. That's why I am slowly trying to adapt and make sure that whatever I do, you know, whatever I do is compliant with DMCA. Hey, Elio, how's it going? Right, that would be like an analogy, but still, like either way, I believe that like the DMCA rules need to change, right? Like they need to be updated and revamped so that artists, there can be a perfect trifecta where the artist gets compensated, the record labels are kind of held back and kind of reined in because they're extremely predatory, and content creators can actually use or have a little bit more freedom to use some of these things when it comes to free what is it I forget the term, um fair use, okay, so that people can do things with fair use, right? a solution a solution could be to do some kind of commercial licensing for streamers or for content creators, right, on platforms. Not happening unless people start smacking the platforms that are sucking corpo cock. Yeah, so in other words, we gotta do the work, right? Because the problem is these giant, predatory corporations, like, for example, the record and the music industry, which is extremely horrific, pours unlimited, ungodly, okay, I'm being hyperbolic, but it pours in a lot of money to make sure that these rules become reality. We see them. I mean, record companies and media companies paid Tom Tillis a lot of money for his campaign. It sucks, but it's like if individual creators don't say, "Stop my Autobot." Individual creators say, "Don't actually." No, thank you, Twitch. You keep suckling the band to keep a big biz and helping them fuck us. Twitch isn't incentivized to stop. Right, exactly. But who's gonna do that, right? Who's gonna do that? That's the problem. I mean, unless you get like a co-op of massive streamers, to kind of speak out, and a co-op of medium. So you would have like medium streamers who are like partners, but not like 20k Andes, but they're still Twitch partners, and you get a couple of big names to come out against this. That could change things, but nobody, because going to a different site totally sucks dick over your algo plus potential IYs. The whole system's jank. Right. That goes into the whole monopoly. For all intents and purposes, Twitch does have a monopoly on the streaming. I mean, yes, YouTube is huge as a platform, but let's be honest, how many people go on YouTube for live streams, right? Twitch owns what, 75% of the market? Twitch owns literally 75 plus or more percent of the market for streaming. I mean, this is where it is, right? I don't know. A lot of stuff has to change when it comes to Twitch. If they don't, I mean, if YouTube wants to overtake Twitch, they can. They can. All they have to do is just kind of hit that button and focus on live streaming, plus their algorithms, plus their, search discoverability. Oof. They could probably end Twitch if they wanted to. But we do need alternate ways of streaming, not just Twitch or YouTube. Because then it's just like the same thing, right? It's just either Twitch or YouTube. But either way, you're right, Mono. The whole system's kind of jank. But hey. I heard that Ben was talking about, streamer co-ops and stuff like that. What I would like to see is separate streaming individuals, right? Like, you stream off your own website. Like, for example, I go to ADifficultTruth.com, and it would be kind of like a separate site where it streams and hosts all of your stuff, right? What exactly is going on here? Like protests? In Lebanon? Oh, I see. After raising premiums and smashing interfaces of banks that are part of the system of corruption in the country. Lebanon is basically a failed state at this point. You think? Wow. I mean, I haven't been following because I'm really not international news, but has it been bad? Like, has it been bad recently, or is this like? I mean, I know that Lebanon has had its own issues for quite a while now. Is this like the final straw? Was it like? Was it? Oh, sorry, guys. Hold on. Yeah. So this is what's going on. It was Lebanon that got hit by the massive explosion as well. Oh, I see. It's not really the final straw so much as constant problems and conflict. Got you. The bomb in Beirut. Recently, the lack of help from government led to a new outroar. Okay, this makes a lot of sense. So it's kind of like the catalyst, or at least one of the catalysts that happened. It'd be cool if streamers could find a way to form a union. Yeah, that would be cool. Unfortunately, it's kind of tough because, like, we're technically individuals. In the sense that we're, like, independent. We'd probably be considered, like, independent contractors, right? I'm back and I think the bill won't pass because it costs too much money. Well, I hope that's true, my friend. And I hope that it gets, destroyed in this in the final draft of the bill, because they're gonna have to go through this again tomorrow. Okay, there's a specific tweet that I wanted to go over. Ah, here we are. I think the streamers could do what the film industry did. Crews are technically independent contractors as well, but they could still be at a union. Interesting. Yeah, well, maybe, hold on. Let me go back to the video. Because maybe it's just past, maybe he just didn't realize. Oh no, he just did this. Yeah, maybe he just misspoke. Maybe he just misspoke, but the vote is happening tomorrow. That would be so cool, Astria. The union for the film industry also provides health insurance and retirement. That would be so cool. Like a streamers guild or something. That would be awesome. Alright, folks. This is pretty disturbing. Peter Navarro releases 36-page report alleging election fraud more than sufficient to swing victory to Trump. Of course, no evidence for that. A great report by Peter. Statistically impossible. Hey, statistically impossible to have lost the 2020 election. Big protests in DC on January 6th. Be there. Will be wild. Is he trying to like get people to turn up to DC again January 6th? I mean, like, what exactly is the end game here? He continues to rile up people to show up in protest for something that we still have zero evidence for. In the sense that we honestly don't have any evidence pointing to widespread voter fraud to the point where it could actually even get close or remotely even close of overturning a single state, much less an election, right? I mean, you got your cases of like this one person who tried to vote for Trump twice, that other lady in Pennsylvania who tried to vote for Trump twice using a mail-in ballot, and then she showed up in person. I mean, there are individual cases of voter fraud. This happens every election. That's nothing new. But a grand scheme or conspiracy to create such election fraud and such voter fraud that it would actually overturn a presidential election is just not happening. It just didn't happen, okay? It just didn't happen. I'm sorry. Like, unless the Supreme Court got it wrong, every single case that has been brought up in federal courts and in state Supreme Courts have all been completely just laughed out of court, okay? You still think we have a high chance of being doomed? I don't think so. I'm fairly confident that that it just won't pass. I'm confident that it just won't pass. I was worried for a second there, thinking that maybe it might get snuck in because nobody's paying attention to it, and this is the only way ridiculous things like this ever get passed in our government. But I just don't think that it will end up in the final draft. But there was massive dumps, though. It's statistically impossible for a dump to be that massive. Right? Like, they were, I mean, it's just not, there's just no real evidence for that, okay? Unless there's some, like, wild new evidence that comes out that there was a giant conspiracy that was sufficient to overturn the elections results, then we can take a look at that. But there has been none whatsoever. I mean, none that would hold up even remotely, that would even remotely hold up in court. I mean, can you imagine if any of this had any merit whatsoever? This would be like the greatest scandal of US history, right? In terms of our elections. An election fraud so large that it overturned a presidential election. I mean, that would be massive, don't you think? But you would kind of need evidence for that. So far in the court of law, they have not been able to produce one whatsoever. And of course, news outlets like the Washington Examiner are continuing to push this narrative. It's extremely, extremely dangerous. And just like I said, you know, first it was, oh, well, let's wait till the election is counted. Then it's, oh, wait. Let's wait until, you know, the court cases get solved. Wait. It's going to the Supreme Court. We gotta wait on that one. Hold on. Wait, the electors haven't voted. Oh, no, now the electors voted. Now it's wait until January 6th when they certify the results. Now January 6th comes along. Mitch McConnell isn't going to have any of this. He's prepared to just certify the results and move on. But it's going to be, you know, wait. We have to wait until the January 21st inauguration. These people are living in an alternate reality. I've seen some massive dumps before. And it would put future voters in jail. Well, no one's ever really cared about that, but I just don't think it will pass. in terms of making DMCA violations, felonies. Imagine relying on Peter Navarro. Yeah, exactly. Big protests in DC on January 6th. Be there, be wild. Will be wild. Like, what is that supposed to mean? Is it supposed to mean, you know, is it supposed to mean this? Is that is that what you mean? Is that what you mean by get wild? I don't know. Hey Zoo, how's it going? Mitch doesn't seem to stop riding. He looked rough for a while. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. They never clarified on that. Being wild is not the right way to protest most of the time. Yeah, like what is that supposed to mean? Like, is it supposed to mean do what happened in DC or in Washington State? Is that what he's talking about? I mean, I don't know. His lawyer was saying to his supporters to stock up on Second Amendment supplies. This is sounds like a roundabout way to call for violence. Yeah, right. It's like stochastic. Thanks for the heads up, Donnie. I'm gonna get real wild. Yeah, like and also imagine protesting. Like, okay, everybody has the right to protest, but like just think of the premise that you're protesting about. Like, would it'd be one thing again if there was like some serious voter fraud going around and nobody's addressing it. I mean, yeah, that'd probably be something to protest about, but there's no evidence for this, right? There's absolutely no serious evidence for any widespread voter fraud to overturn an election. It's just not there. And like you're gathering thousands of people, which again, everybody has like the right to protest, but like thousands of people riled up on a fake, false premise. It's a conspiracy. Right, exactly, Jesus. It's just beyond me why you would like this is why I think that like if you're we also follow CDC guidelines. Yeah, like okay, I don't know if you've seen any of these like Million MAGA March or the protests that happened in DC. There was not a lot of social distancing or masks going around, that's for sure. In fact, they were proud. That was part of it. They were proud of not wearing masks and stuff like that, right? Why is this recommended for me? Conservatives also aren't staying at home, so there's a higher chance they have it when they get to these protests. Like, I don't see any leftists who are going out to bars and restaurants and gyms. Yeah, like, again, if you are doing your part to try to slow this thing down, try to stay home, wear masks if you do have to go out, social distancing, and wash your hands. Okay? Right now, this is what we can do to seriously slow the spread of this thing. Not go out in bars and, oh my goodness, hold on, I actually have a story. Let me find it. Nah, I can't find it. God dang it. There was a local news. Let's see. There was a an article with, again, this weekend where people were out and partying without any masks, just hanging out in bars. That's right, sporting events. No, I can't find it, but there are stories like this ever so often. I know I saw a story about the crowded bars and stuff in July. There's another story in October. I mean, all this is doing is like prolonging unnecessary strife. Was this just recent? 6 minutes ago? Jesus Christ. In Great Britain? What the heck is this? So, okay, real quick. This dude... No, the rapper. I easily just... Man. I'll ask you. The framing of it being a planetary existential threat is absolutely ridiculous. But this guy right here, this guy got big mad that he got sanctioned and he got multiple violations because he not only ran a gym, and was not enforcing any type of mask mandate or social distancing. He had over 84,000 people turning, revolving. No masks enforced, no social distancing, and it's a closed environment. That's why that guy that right there in that frame, got really big mad, and I don't know why the Trump administration is using this guy. It's like imagine protesting like health and public guidelines and seeing that as like a symbol of like freedom or something like that. Like, what are you talking about? This guy is indeed a dumbass. They showed the guy freaking out at Costco. Yeah. This is pretty cringe. Save America, save the world. What? This is actually unironically retweeted or tweeted by the President of the United States. Gathered together in mass protest January 6th. He already did. He's already doing it. There is already sporadic incidents that happened during these protests, right? I mean, Dylan Burns saw firsthand. Dylan witnessed firsthand. Somebody getting stabbed. So yeah, it's already happening. Another person was shot in Washington. There was another incident where, luckily, as far as I know, it seems like this was a separate incident, but another person was shot at. Nobody was hit, but it's already causing violence. Riling up people who, like you said, are in this cult mentality is dangerous. Is absolutely dangerous. Absolutely dangerous. And again, this is the current president of the United States. This is so frustrating. Hey, Sid Vicious. Oh my goodness. We have a Bleep Blop Ben raid with a party of 48. Wow, massive. Thank you so much, Ben. I appreciate that. How's it going? Thank you for the follow, Jen. Oh my goodness. What a massive, massive raid. Thank you, Full Stop Terry. I appreciate that. Thank you for the follow, Bad Praxis. I appreciate that. Ooh boy. Hands up and give us the hot takes. This is a raid. I don't know. Do I have hot takes? Thanks for the follow, Trash Dandy. Appreciate that. Chillin'. Ali Cat, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Hey, Elron Hubert. Aboard. This is a legit leftist stream. We have all the chillest people here. So what time are they going to vote on the bills? About 1 p.m. tomorrow. Raid. That's right, Astria. We're all just here trying to have a good time. Hey, Doodle Muffin. That face when Meadows and Cipollini are the smartest guys in the room. Hey, Spaced On. I've seen you another. Oh yeah, I have seen you in Ben's chat. Hey, Feminist Critique, how's it going? If you don't follow Ben already, y'all should be following Ben. You should also be following Feminist Critique. Hey, Duchess, how's it going? Hey, Comrade Bubbles, how's it going? Hold on, folks. So many friendly faces. Well, there must be a reason. I mean, you were there, weren't you? Oh, yes. Sidney Powell was in the office last night and discussed making her special counsel for election fraud. No. Oh my. Release the Kraken lady? Release the Kraken lady? Thanks for the shout out, no problem. What? Why would release the release the Kraken? The heck is going on outside? Hey, not Hannibal Lecter, how's it going? Repeatedly object to these. It doesn't serve on a constitutional basis. Cool. SCOTUS said corporate bribes don't give rise to corruption. What? No problem, Comrade Bubbles. I actually saw that you streamed on Ben's shoutouts. I was doing his dead. No, he's still hanging in there with the copium injected. It's going all right. What about you? I'm chilling. I thought you was fired. Yeah, from the official team, from the official legal team. But you know. This is totally was ever. I thought he was a robot hybrid. Yeah, you saw some of the oil leaking the other time. It was a little bit malfunctioning. In totally normal things that should happen. This is, by the way, the same person that said that there was a giant conspiracy. Oh man, are you for real? Okay. Whatever. We get the headline gist of the story. This is the same person because this is the same person who said there was a giant conspiracy between, get this, between Hugo Chavez, Cuba, China, Antifa, and of course the business partner of George Soros, Dominion, and the other company. All of these people, somehow, all of these people got together and overturned the results of the election. And I mean, this is a fantastical accusation, but has yet to provide a single shred of evidence, and continues to say there's evidence, but sad. She claimed Biden was in league with Castro. Oh yeah, no, it's a whole thing. As a president of Antifa should be getting the Soros checks. Exactly. Me saying there's evidence actually equals having evidence. And if you scream it really loud and enough times, then it becomes real. That's how this works. Keep scrolling. Flynn was there, Michael Flynn. Oh man, this keeps getting better. Oh, that's right. So, Darknet, there is a command for Raid because currently this stream is sponsored by Raid, Shadow Legends. So the command thingy with Raid, the exclamation point with Raid, actually gives you the Raid Shadow Legends link. Yeah, There you go. There you go. Raid Shadow Legends. What that does is basically, by the way, all it does is help the channel, and it's a free game. So check that out. Just a little martial law as a treat. Nice. We're gonna get into that just in a second. So yeah, hey, by the way, folks, if you enjoy the content, make sure you smack that follow button, and make sure you head on over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button. It really does help us out. Here, it really does help us out. I appreciate all of you guys hanging out here. You guys are what makes the stream go. And play Raid Shadow Legends. If anything, just for the stream. Yikes. Ron being the former 8 commit, people thinks controls the Q trip code. Wow. You know, I'm bullshit. Ron Watkins is asking people on Twitter if they would accept a little martial law. Yikes. Alright, Michael Flynn, where are you? During the meeting, the president asked about Flynn's suggestion of deploying the military. Those briefs said that was also shot down. Yeah, no kidding. These are so like, oh, these are so bad. This is so dangerous. This is so dangerous. Donald Trump is using the Justice Department to distract from the pyramid scheme. Oh yeah, by the way, there's also a thanks for the reminding me. There's also a very interesting little scheme that has been going around where Donald Trump seems to be at least aided by Jared Kushner to funnel campaign money that's supposed to be, you know, for the PACs to pay the campaign and stuff like that. He's actually funneling that into shell corporations. What does little martial law even mean? Yeah, I don't buy it. Doing anything later or tomorrow? At least myself, I will be going to going around checking out, hopefully, if I can really quickly, because I'm kind of like, you know, suspect of trying to go around too much, but hopefully score a tree, Christmas tree, Yule tree. Not a whole lot of martial law, just a smidge. And yeah. We're reaching to the point where they're so desperate that they're leaning into conspiracy mumbo jumbo. Oh yeah, no, this is all like beyond reality. I mean, right now it's to the point where William Barr is part of the deep state CCP Rhino Republican. Like we're that deep in where William Barr is part of the deep state. We're now, I don't know if it's completely confirmed, but completely confirmed, but we don't know if McConnell is yet part of the CCP. We're still trying to figure that one out. But it seems like it because he congratulated Joe Biden on his victory. So that automatically makes him a agent of the CCP, of course. Score a tree or score some trees? ¿Por qué no los dos? Meadows will probably be accused soon. Yeah, like anybody who's not for questioning going after voting machines. Yeah, anyone who's not in this not in on this conspiracy is automatically a CCP agent or part of the deep state. Actually, there was a post. There was a post where literally that's what they said. Oh no, I'm sorry, it wasn't a post. Oh, I remember where it's from. It was from does anybody has anybody seen the Republican Nation? He is having a really hard time accepting reality. But I saw in one of his chats, because I kind of go in there just to see what happens in that side of the world. And I literally saw somebody type out in chat, anybody who thinks Trump lost is a Chinese agent or something of that nature, right? It was it was anybody who thinks Trump lost is a Chinese tool or CCP tool or something to that effect, right? In his chat, I mean, like it's that bad. In terms of how hard these people are coping or bought into the conspiracy. Remember not to, oh yes, that's right. Trumpers, listen up. 2 seconds. Remember not to vote in the Georgia election out of principle. Remember, elections are just a tool of the deep state. Don't fall for it. That's right. However, if you're just a normal person, please keep in mind there are very important elections coming up January 5th. If you know somebody that lives in Georgia or you live in Georgia, make sure to get out there. Early voting is or has already started, if I'm correct. Make sure that you are registered and things like that. Exactly. Don't let your votes get dominionized. Oh man. I mean, it's like I would seriously think that this is just like a, you know, laughing matter that I would just joke about the entire time, except these have real consequences and have eroded and are continuing to erode what little, you know, faith in our systems that we have. And it gets very, very dangerous when people who unironically believe in a wild conspiracy theory, like borderline cult mentality, all of a sudden are activated, right? These are the people that get activated by this type of rhetoric, and that translates to real life events, real life things happening, right? Like I am super I'm gonna watch the news on January 6th, because this guy talking about how it's a global threat. It's a global threat if you don't fight for Trump. And also saying to rally and protest January 6th when the House and the Senate certify these electoral votes, could get potentially, you know, bad. Just tape a pine tree air fresheners on the wall. Yeah, that's a much easier solution, right? And just make sure we get some candles going too to keep the scent around. You can't believe anything coming from McConnell's mouth. True, but I do believe that he is accepting the results of the election, or has already accepted the results. Like a normal person, despite McConnell's ghoulishness. Like, reality is reality. Incredible. Wait, why is Dr. Fauci trending? You know, this would be cute, except two mall Santas have already infected a bunch of kids. but the sentiment is nonetheless needed. Sesame Town Hall. Man. Who's going to the mall? No idea. I even forgot what the mall looks like, okay? Oh no. Oh my, why did this show up on my feed? Why is this Twitter? What are you doing? I don't want to see this. But okay. Sure. Nice meme. McConnell knows he has all the GOP power until January 5th knocks him down. Maybe. Depends on the senatorial races. So in the end, we shouldn't worry about the Tillis bill? I don't think so. I don't think so. Oh, speaking of DMCA. Speaking of DMCA, y'all need to go check out Ben's YouTube channel. He does a he has a couple of DMCA free kind of acoustic ambient music going on. I highly recommend you guys go check that out. Trump and Ben said they were getting the vaccine, but I don't think that'll change anybody's mind. Yeah, that's a whole other effort, right? Listen, if we continue to see very positive results for the vaccine, and I mean, I see why not, right? Like, if we continue to see good numbers, I don't see why we shouldn't advocate for taking the vaccine. The stream is lagging. Can I get F's in chat if the stream is lagging? Or is everything okay? I've already seen conspiracies that leaders getting vaccinated on air aren't actually getting it. This is because of oh god. So hold on. I don't know if I could find it. Let me see if I could find the origin of the oranges of that conspiracy theory. What's going on over here? Oh. Wow. Here it is. Oh my goodness. Okay, watch closely. He doesn't press the syringe down at all. Okay? So that's where that's coming from. That's where that conspiracy is coming from. They're saying that the needles were capped, which is wild because how would they see it? Yeah, I don't know about that. Mitch McConnell congratulated Brown. What an absolute traitor Mitch McConnell is. What are you talking about? Wisconsin flu blue is getting less COVID vaccine doses than promised. Trump threat in action? Maybe. Anyone else having a lag? Yeah, I don't know. Is anybody else having a problem? It seems like it. Most likely what probably happened, like Arkham's Razor, okay? What probably actually happened is that this person already had the shot, okay? And they were trying to do a kind of like a photo op to encourage people to get it, right? Because like the vaccine obviously exists. The vaccine obviously has real that the vaccine obviously has real results. I even have seen people who have participated in the actual trials of this vaccine. It's real. The problem is this right here. It's probably what it is. It's just a staged photo op to encourage people to take it. This guy, I believe, if I'm correct, is the Surgeon General. He probably already had it. Okay, he probably already got the vaccine. He probably did a fake shot so it'd go faster because getting a shot sometimes takes time. Yeah, like it was just kind of like ceremoniously. The problem is this kind of showboating or photo ops or whatever just kind of gives credence to the nonsense conspiracy theorists, right? Yes, it does make people more skeptical when in reality it didn't have to, right? So just to be clear, what most likely happened, and I'm only addressing, somebody brought up conspiracy theories. I'm just saying that things like this are probably the orange, or now I can't stop saying it. Are probably the oranges of that conspiracy theory. I mean, they couldn't find one person that actually needed the shot. Yeah, I mean, all of those people needed a shot. The problem is because they're high-ranking officials, they're authoritative officials, they probably already got it the moment it was available. But because they're authoritative officials, they have to show the public, right? It is kind of ridiculous. Mitch McConnell's like, traitorous KGB double agent. Yeah, sure. Whatever, dude. When you work at the hospital, you're required to be fully vaccinated, so there's no way he hasn't gotten it. Yeah, exactly. So go find one healthcare worker in America without the shot and use them. Maybe that would have been better. I'm just saying that the most probable explanation is that he already took it and that's it. They go through all your entire vaccination records and it won't let you start until you've met all the requirements. Oh, okay. I see. And it makes sense. Like, again, this dude probably already had the vaccine. Nothing really sketchy. It's just the, God, it's just the optics of it so stupid. I believe, I'm with you, Ram 141. The optics of it is stupid because it gives credence to these, conspiracy theories that don't exist. You're making stuff up that you're creating a problem when it doesn't have to be there, right? Hey Dorian, how's it going? You're creating a problem when it didn't have to be there, right? You could have just made something else But like the people are already, as it is initially, and because some of these people are so heavily entrenched in misinformation, um are heavily entrenched with misinformation, that they're already skeptical of a working vaccine. Can you imagine something like this? I mean, there's cameras everywhere. People are going to notice. Like, why did they do this? Just got banned in Lawsuits chat. So you pulled that? Yeah, exactly. It's completely dumb. It's completely dumb. I don't think they should have done that. It just gives credence to conspiracy theories where there is none. But I'm just saying, most likely explanation is that person already had the shot. That's all. I mean, they could have just used saline, right? That's it. All right, folks. Oops, sorry. All right, folks, really quickly, I'm going to take a moment to, first of all, show for myself. If you like the content and you think that this is an awesome place to be, smack that follow button and head on over to our YouTube and just hit that subscribe button. It really does help us out. Oh, good. I really don't have time for conspiracy theories about Mitch McConnell being a Russian asset. I'm good. Hard pass. I'm not even silencing him. I'm not even silencing him. I'm just, not giving credence to any nonsense. That's all. Trump knew in February that COVID-19 was a threat to humanity and told his supporters at rallies the virus was going to be gone in summer. Yeah, we already know. And we already know that, in fact, the strategy, according to new leaked information, was to do herd immunity. So they were never going to, solve this problem. They were never intending to. No. Listen, you won't get far here if you're some type of debate lord or anything like that. I mean, you're welcome to listen, but I'm not really a debate lord, nor do I, generally speaking, engage in debates. Any thoughts on both COVID vaccines being labeled emergency use by the FDA, liability sidestep of FDA? The liability sidestep is kind of weird, but I don't necessarily have a problem for God dang it, Mono. I don't necessarily have a problem for using emergency powers when we have so far has given us good numbers, has given us positive results with the vaccine. I don't mind that. I just kind of like side-eye the fact that they're trying to get liability protections. You should not stop midnight about the vaccine. Hey, listen, you know what? That's a perfect idea. Here you go. You want actual better medical advice? Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Actually ask a health professional. Hey, Chai Bureaucrat. Wait till 300k died from COVID and there's no resources for them. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's kind of what's happening now, isn't there? Yeah, exactly. Listen to the experts. Don't listen to this rando on the internet, okay? Go follow Doc Midnight, or their name on Twitch is Round Midnight _. Go ask them questions. They're frontline healthcare professionals. Yeah, they're a frontline healthcare professional who has much more expertise on it than I will ever have. Okay, I'm not a doctor. Do not listen to this rando on the internet. I thought everyone on Twitch was a doctor. No, Round Midnight is actually a doctor. Okay, not me. Don't listen to me. Ask him actual medical questions. The only thing that I can do is follow the latest guidelines provided to us by healthcare professionals and I encourage you to do so. Like, for example, wearing masks, social distancing, staying home if you can, and of course, washing your hands, things like that. I want Dr. J to be an actual doctor. Please tell me he's an actual doctor. Well, he might have a doctorate in music. That's actually possible. Let's see. Oh no. So even though he is a music engineer, his name actually came from his original moniker, Dr. J. Some school should grant him one right away. A doctorate in music. Yeah, why not? My question was more on the FDA not granting full approval and how might that shield the industry. That would be a great question for, you know what? That might be a good question for Doc Midnight, and if not, there's somebody who sometimes who actually frequently hangs out in chat, Stupka, who can probably enlighten you more on how pharmaceutical companies work. Because again, you're asking somebody who doesn't know. Does it seem a little bit like not cool that they have like these type of liability protections? Because if something happens, they're not liable for it. Yeah, I do think that's not good. That doesn't exactly inspire confidence in the people, but who knows? I don't know. All I know is that so far the data presented to us says these vaccines have had a very good success rate, and they continue to show positive results. That's what I'm saying. Stupka's a pharma lord. Yeah, so ask Stupka or Doc Midnight. I would think we would want to protect people by ensuring recourse against those corporations if they did. Yeah, I would think so too. But I don't know how exactly this is all working out during this emergency situation, right? I don't exactly know how that pans out. He's an MD specialized in sick beats, true. So that's what I would say to that. I mean, asking someone who's just like a Twitch streamer, who generally speaking just regurgitates what real professionals have already discovered. I mean, I'm not really the person to ask. Doc Midnight can illuminate us further. One of these days, I gotta have him back on and give us kind of like an update on how he feels about things now that the year is coming to an end. He had a great chat with Chud Logic. He had a great chat with oh man, I think he also had a chat with Demon Mama. He also had a a chat with, well, with myself. You had a chat with a whole bunch of people. Oh, with Lucid Fox. That was a great chat as well. And there, I thought Twitch chat. You're the Twitch chat who reads CNN and Fox News PhDs. No, actually, no. Well, unironically, Mono has some type of degree, right? That you passed. You made it to your master's. No worries, just chatting to find some truth. Yeah, no, I feel you. That my channel is a difficult truth. Sometimes the difficult truth is realizing that you don't know everything. I'm speaking about myself. Hey, I'm a PhD myself. There you go. Masters in Intelligence, Security, and Disaster Management. True. That's what it is. Thesis is on doomsday cults and neo-Nazi accelerationist. The only truth you'll find here is that capitalism sucks. Yeah, it definitely does. We can make it better, you know? There is a better world out there, is what I mean. I have a bachelor's degree in economics doesn't mean... Oh, stop it. It doesn't mean the left believes a word I have to say. That's fair. A bachelor's degree in economics doesn't mean you're an expert. I mean, it gives kind of like... I mean, it gives you a credence to what you're talking about, but like, you know. Look at Mono trying to play. Look at Mono both sidesing. Jesus. Economics is largely a shell game just to justify. Well, not necessarily. I think that there's other uses for economics, like not just like with financial stuff, but there are other uses for economics. And there are other uses. There are uses to economics. In my opinion. I mean, like, heck, even I can turn that on its head and say, well, you can actually use economics to justify why capitalism has problems. Does that make sense? You can use economics to justify why even capitalism has problems within its core, right? I just think the way the U.S. economics is taught is to justify capitalism. They're both economic systems. Yeah, true. I don't know. All I know is that my system is very, very, very simple. My my philosophy is very simple. I believe that people work, first of all, better together. I believe that people work better together. I believe that we have very, very, very systemic problems in this iteration of our system that need to be addressed. I think that our floor needs to be raised in order for us to progress. And how you achieve that is by moving in a direction where people have just as a basis food, housing, education, and healthcare. These are just things that should happen as a baseline so that society can improve and will have better outcomes, in my opinion, right? These things, if achieved, will make this a better place. That's what I'm interested in, doing the most amount of good for the most amount of people, right? So I don't really necessarily need to get very lost in the sauce about, necessarily hardcore theory or things like that, but I think that my message is very simple. Humans work better together. I think that's true, just from from a multitude of reasons. I think that people deserve basic human necessities such as food, housing, education, and healthcare. Let's move towards that and make this a better place. Most people would agree that they want to make this a better place. And of course, um, if you're truly interested in improving society, you would realize that moving in that direction is probably a good idea. Exactly, Astria. Everybody needs like the basic, like raising the floor, right? Everybody, especially in this wealthy country. I mean, it's beyond me that we can't provide people. We don't have the will to provide people education, healthcare, food, to make sure nobody goes hungry. It is beyond me. Housing. The debt necessarily isn't a bad thing. Now, what are you getting into that debt for? Changes everything. Does it not? What you get into that debt for changes it. If you get into debt for a specific reason, like for example, let's say we spend money to provide people with healthcare, right? You will have returns on that, right? I say we borrow $100 trillion and have a gigantic party. No, I mean have $100 trillion that will stimulate the economy by doing things like providing these type of people that I worked very hard for. I would fill a pool with Jello. Why? Why would you do these things? As an economist, don't you think we could have better uses for $100 trillion than putting things in than putting Jello filled pools? And that means that we can go forever. No. We obviously the goal isn't to go forever. The goal is to invest. I mean, it's an investment, is it not? When you get into debt to buy a house, it's because it's gonna have returns later on. That house is gonna have equity. I mean, that's the reason why you get into this type of debt, because there's going to be equity or returns in the future. Investing in things like healthcare, investing in things like making sure we take care of climate change, investing in things like making sure we have education. These are things that will have returns, right? I mean, you want these things on an economic level. If you really want to go that route in terms of like how I'm explaining to you my philosophy and why I think people should have these things. Hey, if you want the economic rhetoric, I'll give it to you that way. Making sure people have these things will ensure a higher success rate for those individuals, right? People who have higher education can get better jobs. Greek anarchist groups, one of them is called Conspiracy of Fire Nuclei. What is that? They hate banks and corporations, support the Fed, devalues currency, so the bad and middle class have zero purchasing power. U.S. net wealth is about 100 trillion, but not equally distributed. Yeah. I'm sure. It's the problem is the problem is, yeah, when a handful of corporations have everything, that's not an economically stable situation. Like, that doesn't even make sense. And I think you're strawmanning that entire. It's like the meme. I think you're strawmanning. Um, I think you're strawmanning that entire, like, that whole thing. That's not how people think. You're the left, Mono. Like, for example, the idea that we should be giving more tax cuts doesn't work, right? We know that. Economically speaking, it doesn't stimulate the economy. However, you know what does stimulate the economy? Making sure that the working class and the middle class and the small businesses that are the engine of the economy do have the stimulus required to run. So it's not necessarily like that. I don't know who the left is who hates all of these things in a vacuum, right? The problem is when you have because you can even say co-ops, right? Worker co-ops are corporations. People keeping more of what they earn doesn't stimulate growth. It does not. Like, it unironically does not. Like, we actually have a study, an economic study, to show that it doesn't. If I sit on cash, it doesn't help the economy long term. Yeah, it doesn't. And we know this already. The machine needs to keep moving or it gums up. Yeah, that's basically there you go. That's a perfect analogy. The machine needs to keep going or it stops. And if it stops, the machine will grind our bones to either way. The US is becoming a corporate feudalist, and guess who the peasants are? Oh, yeah. Hey, Elias, how's it going? You could also know way more without a bachelor's degree. Depends on what you do. It's rhetoric, Mono, meaning the corporations get all the handouts. The same thing that a lot of these people cry when we try to increase social safety nets. They claim that it's like socialism and giving handouts to people. The rhetoric is, if you do that to corporations, it's kind of like a corporate socialism. And the issue is that the federal government does nothing with fiscal policy. They debtmonger. Yeah, just one of the nonsense statements, but like that one's more of like rhetoric. I think that one kind of resounds to people because it's easy to understand. Well, Astria, we have feudal. We're heading into corporate feudalism without even the benefits of housing. Okay, so Dorian, you have to understand that Mono likes to troll around. So I very rarely, unless he's actually being serious, I very rarely acknowledge any of the spicy comments that he does. I would suggest only if he's you never troll? Yeah, okay. Unless he's actually being serious, I generally just uh not once. No, not once. Oh, I ignore just mono. I only ignore mono. This is all good, but does your economic system account for me looting things? Yes or no? Name a time. 2 seconds ago. So yeah, Fed stimulus has more direct impact on working people that has come from fiscal policy out of Congress. Yeah, yeah. When is mono not trolling? You have to discern from very subtle um very subtle tones. Very subtle tones. The rich got tired of paying taxes, they just made the Fed issue debt to them so they can collect all the royalties. You can just I block mono to instantly improve the quality of the chat. True. Oh man. Well, okay, so basically, very simple. If you want to make an economic system better, you gotta give injections to where they're needed, right? Improving things, improving the material conditions of the working class ultimately improves the actual economy. Making sure people have food, housing, education, and healthcare improves the economy. Yes, that's right. And you can do that within our system right now. In fact, you can do that system right now. You can do that right now. If you wanted, if anybody had the political will, you can make sure that people have food, housing, education, and healthcare, and you would vastly improve a whole bunch of things. You would improve not only the economy, you would improve people's lives, you would make this a happier country. You would actually be able to put important issues on the table, like climate change. I mean, all of these things. What is the difficult truth? Today's difficult truth is that it turns out we may not know everything. So the spending for working families and other stimulus, right? So the injections need to be done where they actually would improve the economy. But then you would miss all my tea leaves. Yeah. Oh, he just for just for a quick second, Mono has actually talked about the real problems of groups like, for example, QAnon and stuff like that, and he has predicted how, hey, I have to give him credit where credit is due. He has predicted the stuff that has happened, which is like sporadic violence and stuff like that. So you can talk to him for real about operational, like, he does a lot of research with cults and groups. Well, knowing everything would be quite boring. I don't know. I just made that one up. All right. I just made that one up today. Meaning, I just said that on the fly because somebody asked me what is a difficult truth. I guess I'll just have to wait for you to impart your all-knowing wisdom. He did today. He did today earlier. Astria. He predicts it's a possibility that some wild stuff is happening January 6th. Is that true? Yes or no? Peep what's happening in QAnon. There you go. Mano has spoken. Money's created out of nothing. Taxes exist only to control inflation. See, I don't have the economic chops, so I know Ben and Touring News probably is more better than that than I am. There's really no reason for anyone to turn up to these things, but people will seek any reason to get involved right now. Yeah, jeez. I don't know. You see, by the way, this is Mono, like, talking for real. Yeah, I don't know, Mono. It is a bit worrying. I'm sure we're going to see headlines January 6th or January 7th. Ironically, the Oath Keepers, a group that has stated intention of upholding the Constitution as members who are supporting the imposition of martial law. Yeah. Not surprised. It's almost like they weren't really very ideologically consistent from the start. Whew. I feel like the news will be more lenient to the protests on January 6th than they were to BLM protests. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, considering we've been having the few times that, you know, these things happen, there were incidents. I think there's just been media fatigue. There's so many events going on now that that are the same, that the news has gone stale. You really think so? I feel like sometimes it's just like I feel like sometimes it's just overwhelming. Like, please, can we just have a slow a slow news day where I, you know, don't have like 10 headlines to go over because there's so many important things to go around. Yeah, only so many times in a row they can say, hey, these guys are fighting again. Yeah, but, you know, there's a difference between that and people getting stabbed and shot. Wait, the media lies and sensationalizes everything? Well, the media doesn't 100% lie about everything. You mean, do they editorialize and spin narratives? That's a different story. You mean, does the media editorialize and spin narratives? Then yeah, sure. But usually the core events that they report on do happen. Like, for example, in the Washington protests, 4 people got stabbed. Yeah. 4 people got stabbed. That happened. They have not once manufactured consent. Anyone who thinks, hey, listen, Chomsky is based as fuck, okay? I assumed that the media was perfectly altruistic and was always informing me perfectly. Well, there was a time there was much better. But, you know, Ronald Reagan took away the fairness doctrine. Any BTTV emotes in here? I did see it. I saw the monkus. I see the little frog. Oh wait, I need to upload him. Yeah, he well, in a weird way, he did lead the chain of events. That's right. By eliminating the fairness doctrine, it definitely led, you know, it opened the door for the media to not have to do as much work, in the same way that they don't have the same liabilities that they used to, right? They were cringe as fuck at many points in history. That's true. We need a pet the Biden with Harris W. That's right, Ram. Read some of the headlines around the civil rights movement. Nothing but editorializing. Hold on. Well, in a normal world, the fairness doctrine would have been upheld to make sure to present any issues of public importance, to do so in a manner that was honest, equitable, and balanced. So technically, those people violated the fairness doctrine. We invented ways to transmit information almost instantly, and we use it to spread fake news faster than the real news. True. True. But someone recently recommended the latest episode of Citations Needed. It pulls up some New York Times editorials around slavery abolition. Turns out New York Times has always been trash. Yeah, well. Fake news. The fake newspaper, New York Times. Wait, no, I'm sorry. Failing newspaper. Gotta love them internet. That was a pretty good Trump. I'm going to miss him. I'm not. The media on the left will miss him more. I don't know about the media. I certainly won't be missing him. I'm going to be glad when I don't have to go and cover this anymore. Like, I'm going to be glad when I don't have to cover this anymore. I don't have to cover the next tweet calling for, you know, for violence. The next tweet disputing without any evidence election results, undermining our, you know, systems, undermining our democracy. I mean, I just can't wait till I have to do like normal stuff and I can cover the real like news. He's gonna run in 2024. I doubt it. Trump lives in your soul, bro. No, he doesn't. I can't wait. I can't wait. I won't miss the Trump lies every day. I don't think a lot of us will. Oh man. I would love just to see him lose one more time. Imagine, like, yeah, I mean, how many times does he have to lose this election cycle? At this point, he's lost, what, like 20, 30 times already? When CNN ratings tank, they will be all sad. That's a CNN problem. That sounds like a CNN problem. I'm gonna be absolutely thrilled to talk about just regular news and the Biden administration and focus on that more than having to see this guy's Twitter every day. Right? Like, can you imagine, like, oh man, if Trump goes, we lose our main communication to the Galactic Federation of Light. Oh man, by the way, I think that's a reference to QAnon. Where are so many people going to get their daily dose of outrage now that the world is solved? Well, that's the problem, isn't it? The world isn't solved. It's just that somehow one person seems to have co-opted this entire thing, and we're hoping to actually focus on real problems instead of just, you know, watching Trump destroy everything. They can cover actual crises, but that's too much to ask, right? They will come to ADT, the only new real news you can trust. Ooh. But I would, you know, once this electoral cycle is done, which it's about to be, I can finally focus on like real, more heavier discussions and stuff like that. So yeah, oh no, the horror. What are we ever going to do if we don't have anything but Trump to talk about? There's not, like, you know, an impending climate crisis. There's not like an sustainable income inequality. There's not, you know, like the fact that there's still people starving in this country. No. We don't have to talk about those issues. Like, what? What are you talking about? Now that we have the guy who's supported by corporations in the media, the machine, and political good old guys, we can finally get rid of the establishment. Wait, what? I have no idea what you're talking about. No one likes Biden. Yeah, like, just because Biden is elected doesn't mean everybody's like problems is solved, right? Just to be clear, right? The only Neolib here is me. Odd. Just to be very clear. Okay, God, these people sometimes can be so dense. Nobody here, generally speaking, thinks that Biden is going to solve everything. And most of all, the people who voted for Biden weren't necessarily voting for him, they were voting against Trump. This was a referendum on Trump. Okay? So, yeah, the guy got more votes than Obama simply because we wanted this orange asshat gone. Okay? That was the reason why he won. Oh, that hurts your feelings? Oh, I'm sorry. Imagine having, like, your feelings hurt by words like that. There's a crazy, irrational hatred for Trump? No, there wasn't. It wasn't... Okay, so I think you're confusing... I think you're confusing the massive editorializing of the media with... Or I should say conflating the massive editorializing with the media. While there was actually a real legitimate reason why, you know, Trump was so dangerous. I mean, he continues to prove this every single day, right? I mean, just look at his Twitter feed. He continues to prove why he's absolutely extremely dangerous and illustrates why he was removed from office and why he needed to be removed from office. Great hoodie, by the way. Thank you. Vermin Supreme, rigged election. Hey, listen. Um, Mono, that's TOS, dude. How do I do this? That is TOS. Worst mod ever. Seriously. I'm Donald Trump and I concede that ADT is a great political stream. Thank you. That was way too close to the sun. That was way too close to the sun. TOS, TOS. With mods like that, who needs mods? You're memeing too close to the sun, friend. How do I do this? If this was here, the CA would have been nice. I mean, it doesn't even say lost their touch. True. Because I don't know exactly what the complete like TOS thing goes. I'm just gonna do one of these. I've been trying to learn how to do that for the past 5 minutes, by the way. That's exactly what I was doing. I was like, damn, how do I Twitch for 5 minutes? Oh wait, what? Oh man, I'm terrible at this. Give his sword to historian sapiens. Make a big red button like an old arcade, label it banhammer and hit it hard. Yeah, like a button, maybe like make it like a macros. Hey Kez, how's it going? Knackered? What is a knackered? Tired? Like exhausted. Thanos over here. Yeah, listen, I don't know how to Twitch properly, okay? I'll follow them. Oh man. All day. But it's really weird because it's asking me to unmod you. I can't. Okay. I'll figure this out. I have sword duties for Believe On to be able to do cover here. Sorry, but I appreciate the chat sponsorship. Even though I'm mod privs, I'm still mod on the eyes of the platform. Okay. Thanks for the follow, iReplikai. How's it going, BPCL? Oh, but yeah, just try to keep it TOS, alright? Keep it friendly, Mono. I'm back at work? Oof. Things are looking really promising from my point of view. Awesome, awesome. I'm glad to hear that, friend. What's going on? Did you get a different job or promotion or what's up? Same job? Oh, you went back to work after being a month unemployed. Well, that's a good step, right? Christmas is canceled. Yeah, we know that, Mono. Christmas is canceled, folks. They need to support more they needed more support for all the people in the field. Well, that's good. At least you got your you got your job back. I love your setup. What kind of camera do you have? Capitalism is canceled. Hey, this year, listen, this year, please guys, just keep it safe. We have finally won the war on Christmas. I thank you, Self Sky, by the way. Hey, thanks for the cheer, for the cheer. Thanks for the biddy. I appreciate that. Last thing we need is people celebrating right now. That would be just bad. Yes, actually, unironically, yes. Like, folks, please, try to not have large family gatherings. I know it's the holidays. I know it's tough, but please. We did finally win the war on Christmas. It took us decades, but we got there. I've never been on a campaign that runs through Christmas before. Whoa. The elves revolted and Santa's in a gulag. What? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't answer your question. What kind of camera do you have? I have the EOS M200. Oh yeah, just that, right? Only 300? Only? That was the only thing that was gonna happen? Specifically 666 guests annually. Well, this year, unfortunately, uh, due to the fact that Darknet has just stated we have declared victory over the war on Christmas, all of that is going to have to be postponed. Sorry, folks. The war on Christmas is over. It's not happening this year. That's the left that's annexed Christmas. Let's start a yearly celebration of the defeat of Christmas. True. Now we need to make mandatory prayers towards Mecca. And then let's exchange gifts in tribute to communism. I'm having a small Christmas with just my husband and kid. That's it. Yeah, absolutely. That's probably the best. Just to have it small. For example, I'm hoping that this year it's just the 4 of us, right? So if they annex, because we get a better presence, yeah, something like that. Sure. Although I don't know how that came about, but sure. Thanks for the biddies, I appreciate that. The war on Christmas was the second American Revolution. I don't know, but I want to. I don't know, but I want to know. Jimmy Dore. Ah, got him. Got him. Oh yes, known leftists, Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates, known leftists. Okay, so I'm gonna be very serious for a second. Do you think that just because somebody votes Democrat, they automatically... What? Oh man, yeah, Jimmy Dore, I know. Jimmy also has money donating to Dulcie. Oh man, oh wait, guys, what exactly happened with that? All I know is that supposedly he was like bashing on or urging the squad to force a vote for Medicare for all in exchange for them for voting for Pelosi as speaker. But like, what exactly was that entire what exactly was the entire purpose, or what was that whole drama about? Okay, because like, as I was saying in the beginning of the stream, I don't know if it's accurate to follow the drama on Twitter, but like, what exactly happened? Trolling. That was a good one. I'll give you that one. You got me. Okay. He's just doing, yeah, reactionary shit for bad strategy and for clicks. Like, okay, so that's not too far off what I was thinking, like, in my head. So like, the strategy is, yes, we're gonna withhold our votes for Nancy Pelosi to force a vote on Medicare for all. We get the vote for Medicare for all on the floor. It loses, right? Because it's not gonna pass. It loses, and then we never have to talk about Medicare for all again. Like, okay, dude. He's just trying to accuse the squad of being frauds. If he cares so much about it, then why doesn't he support Tulsi? He doesn't even support Tulsi. Who doesn't even support it? Yeah, I know. That seems like a bad plan if he's pitching it to the squad. Yeah, like, it just seems kind of weird. Like, that's not how you get things done electorally, right? Yeah, exactly, Darknet. I mean, it doesn't seem like a very good electoral strategy to try to achieve something like Medicare for all, right? You would need to slowly gather enough support in the House, and then, whether Nancy Pelosi likes it or not, or even if she's the House Speaker at that point or not, they would have the majority that they would need, right? And they would also have to work on the Senate too. So I don't even know what like the impetus was here. It was just going to end up nowhere. And on top of that, not only would that type of tactic end up with no gains whatsoever, it would only give them less power, right? In terms of like what they would be able to do, right? So they get completely discredited. Everybody sees like, hey, look, you know, they pushed this bill, Medicare for All. It failed horribly in the House, and now we don't have to talk about it ever again because see, it failed. Pelosi supporters imagine she supports whatever policies they do. Yeah, I don't know. I never like I never like really was a Tulsi fan. Tulsi's hot though. None of that here, please. Come on, guys. None of that here, Ram. Knowing it fail anyway, you get made when you prove voting in favor symbolically, right? So you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know realistically how much actual support you would have, and what would it do? It would just die on the Senate anyways. And all you're doing is making enemies. Forcing the vote in this way. Forcing your vote in this way is not going to get you the results you think it is, right? Like you would just be like basically creating a antagonism when what you need to be doing, if you are in the position of, for example, if you're in the position of a Bernie Sanders, if you're in the position of AOC or Rokana or Pramila Jayapal or Ilhan Omar or Ayanna Pressley, your job at that point is to start building coalitions and getting your point of view across with other members of your House or Senate in that case, right? Like imagine if like Bernie just crosses his hands every time and refuses to do anything because, well, nobody's going to join him or whatever. No, you know what he does? He gets a group of bipartisan support and tries to get things done that manner. In terms of electoralism, right? If you're in the system, if you are a senator, if you are a representative, these are the avenues that you have to do when it comes to achieving things like, for example, because Bernie Sanders took the time to, first of all, rally support for stimulus checks, and not only that, got bipartisan support for stimulus checks. Now it's on the table, right? He got that back on the table. That's how you do things in terms of electoralism, right? Wasn't Tulsi a Russian bot according to Hillary? True. Listen, Hillary Clinton doesn't matter anymore, right? We don't need to be talking about Hillary Clinton. We already know this shit doesn't need to be primaried based off. Who knows that she had some weird support of the BJP? True. The 4 quadrant charts that show Tulsi is economically in the same position as Bernie? Yeah, I don't think so. So, yeah, it turns out that you need to play this type of strategy in order for you to get anything done electorally. If not, imagine if like, Bernie just throws his hands up in the air, then nothing gets done, right? He wouldn't have been able to do that. You know how he's gotten stuff done? It's because he got maybe 1 or 2 senators, a Republican and a Democrat, who kind of agreed with him on some stuff, and then he just took them aside and said, hey, listen, we need to pass this because I think that this is important. And that's how the stuff that he has been able to get done, that's how it happens, okay? So if the squad or if any representative wants to make a difference in Congress, they have to build these type of coalitions. And they have to build them within their sphere of influence, right? So the idea that you're just going to antagonize antagonize that and just bully your way through with only a small percentage of you there is not going to happen. I mean, he did kind of push for the stimulus check in the Senate bill. He absolutely did, but he did it because he knew he had at least 1 or 2 senators from each party backing him. There was a Republican senator and a Democratic senator who supported these things, right? So that's how he got that on the bill. He pushed for it, but he pushed for it because he got at least a Republican and a Democrat to agree that this is important, right? Even Chuck Schumer ended up falling for the stimulus checks, right? He's now in line with that. The same, I forget the representative, the Republican who Bernie got on board with the stimulus checks. I forget who it was, but that's how he did it. He got one of them to Romney, I think so. I don't know. Either way, the point is, that's how you do things electorally. I know. It's hard, especially in this polarized environment, but he did it. I mean, Josh Hawley? Yeah, I think so. I don't remember who it was. Yeah, Pelosi is not a fan of the squad. That's true. I can't wait for my second stimulus check. 600 for almost a year of economic turmoil should make all the difference. Absolutely. They could have just sent me a PS5. True. Things about comment holding out for stimulus checks. Yeah, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Okay? And that's the opportunity that someone like Bernie Sanders can take and say, okay, hey, listen, you agree on this? Whatever. Great. Come here. Let's pass this. Yeah, of course, it's popular, but even Mitch McConnell didn't want to do this. Like, Mitch McConnell wasn't going to budge on these checks, but because there's like more support for this, especially bipartisan support, it worked. It's guided in terms of what to do from a Republican standpoint. PS5s are a human right. True. PS5s are a human right. House food, education, and PlayStation 5s. I have spoken. Yeah, I know. There's plenty of those to go around BPCL. I mean, look at Loeffler. Like, unironically was caught insider trading and never suffered any consequences. I mean, true. Ten out of 10 would buy a PS5. No, the sad part is, like, unironically, that's really nothing. Like, the fact that they are fighting over whether or not we should get some type of, like, relief is incredible to me. Like, actually, just for really quickly, just for a quick serious second, like, the fact that, like, oh man, we can't get it together in figuring out whether or not people need, stimulus checks during this economic crisis. Like, it's just so frustrating. Not forever, but you make a good point. If you want to stimulate the economy at this point, um, money printer go burr. That's a great way to get us out of this mess. And invest it in things that will give us returns later on. You know what you could do? You can invest in healthcare. You can invest in housing. You could invest in education. These are things that will have returns. You can invest in making sure people have food. Yeah. These are things that will return to society, right? Besides, we all pay a lot of taxes here. Those of you that are in America, we pay a lot of taxes. Shouldn't we get something out of it? It better declare one-time debt jubilee like Mohammed, the economy would explode. Yeah, if you shave off like, oh man, if you shave off like some student debt and you, I would say even stop medical debt, because like medical debt shouldn't be a thing. Like medical debt shouldn't be a thing. I'm sorry. That itself would be a stimulus to the economy, especially now. Like I think that it is beyond me that we have a thing called medical debt. Like, what is, how dystopic is that? I mean, ideally they could, Ram. They could make money printer go burr, take care of people during the pandemic, get the economy back on its feet, and make sure that people have food, housing, education, healthcare. Yeah, they could do that right now, and then we would have a much better system. Can you imagine the improvement? Imagine if we had the political will, because we could do this right now. There's nothing technically stopping like Congress from doing this. There's nothing stopping Congress from saying, listen, this is an emergency situation. We need to get this economy back on its track. Let's make sure we make money printer go burr, but invest it in ways that will give us returns in the future. We get people healthcare. We get people education. We make sure people have housing. We make sure people have food. This is not a hard ask. Like this isn't like a wild radical proposal either. What stops them is that they just don't care. Clearly they have shown they don't actually care. During a pandemic, that we're having an argument, we're having a debate. They've had to extend the government funding bill twice because we can't have a debate about whether or not Americans deserve a stimulus check. We're still debating whether or not we should have stimulus checks. It's funny how the Republicans all of a sudden concerned about the deficit are now supporting Trump. Yeah, it's Darknet. It's always like a political football, right? It's all that. It's so triggering because like it's always just a political football with these people. Now I'm not saying Ram. I'm just saying in general. What's stopping the Dems from spending all the money we need? Well, again, political will. None of them have shown that they really care about fixing this problem, right? The fundamental problems that we have, they're not showing that they care about fixing it. Because if they did, they would be making sure they focus. They would be focusing on the root of these problems. So why support them? Because what's the alternative? In terms of electoral politics, what's the alternative? We're trying to make a difference by doing what we can with what we have, right? If more states start implementing ranked choice voting, what do you think is going to happen? A third party is going to have a chance. The solution is The solution is to try to make things more democratic and work within what we have in terms of electoralism. There are other things that you can do, like direct action, getting people organized, right? In other words, getting people aware of what's happening. Make sure that you speak to your representatives. Have a care when local elections come up, right? These impact people directly, right? You vote for people that you know don't have the will to solve things because the alternative is worse. We live in a world where people enthusiastically advocate for apathy. True. I mean, if printing money was a solution, politicians would just endlessly hand out money and get reelected, right? You would think so. You would think they would be trying to solve the issue by investing in things, right? I mean, heck, even investing and rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure and making it a renewable infrastructure, a completely new futuristic infrastructure where we get our energy systems differently from fossil fuels. We now have a renewable system. Even that would create so much economic stimulus, but they don't care. They don't care. They care more about corporations who fund them. That's true. Gotta realize that good outcomes not ensure re-election. That is one strategy. That is one strategy. But widespread misinformation also works. Yeah, I know. I mean, we see it in the Georgia election too. Like, I've seen some of the pamphlets. Some of the pamphlets that are going around in the Georgia election. I mean, they're literally comparing Ossoff to like a radical communist. He's gonna destroy America, and people fall for that. I'm just saying, if you print goods and done, makes every person in this country rich, which helps corps, so everyone wins. What's stopping them? Like, I think we're going in circles. If they had the political will to do so, and they really want to solve the issues, they would. The problem is, they are not there to solve the problems. That's it. They're not there to solve the problems. Because if they were, they would immediately be investing in making sure people have food, housing, education, and healthcare. Making sure that poor communities had the resources that they needed, making sure that education isn't funded by property taxes, making sure that things like food stamps and stuff like that are properly funded and not as means tested, and making sure that the people who need them get them, make sure that they invest in public housing, things like this, but they don't care. Just like I'm saying, is in here to listen to answers to the questions. So we vote for people that go there and not solve problems. I mean, we vote for people because we think that they would do less bad. Generally speaking, the way I see electoralism, electoral politics, is how do I have less bad in the world? Okay? Remember, my philosophy is always to do the most amount of good for the most amount of people. What is less bad? Another 4 years of Trump? That's unacceptable. So, less bad is Joe Biden. That's why I voted for him. Right? Because we hope they will do good stuff and not bad stuff. Well, no. That's kind of a naive way of looking at things, right? I mean, like, the idea that just because they have a D next to their name that automatically makes them good is kind of naive, right? The power is on the people, all right? It's our job to, again, be aware of these issues, get involved in the process, get things like ranked choice voting, and advocate for the elimination of money in politics as much as humanly possible. These things will have better impacts. because we hope that they will. Yeah, nothing is going to get better until we stop playing political football. Well, we aren't the ones that are playing political football. The people in Washington D.C. are the ones playing political football with things that shouldn't be, right? Like, there shouldn't be a debate on whether or not people need stimulus checks, right? Lived in a safety era, so would have been the same for House and Senate races. Like, okay, so the argument in this specific election, Dorian, just for this specific election, is because we knew that this man was going to try to contest the election results. We were trying to get as many people as possible. Yeah, like as many people as possible, so that he had no avenue of contesting the results. That didn't happen. But anyways, I mean, like, I think that right now, what we should be doing, is the stuff that we can do on the ground is simple. We gotta get organized. Things like ranked choice voting can be done. Things like ranked choice voting can be done if you really wanted to. I think that introducing and pushing for referendums in your state, pushing referendums in your state to try to get ranked choice voting is a huge step forward, right? Oh, this makes a lot of sense. This makes a lot of sense. Well, Dorian, some of them are. But I don't think RAM is necessarily. Do you ever get stepped on in large crowds? What does that mean? Yeah, if I can convince people to stop voting, then we can begin having single thought about our problems, and it's going to yeah, like the idea that we should just not vote, or we should just like not engage in electoralism. I mean, it's a tool that we have. Why not? If it's there, if we can do less bad on the world, I think we should. Hey, sourcing. Well, politics can be a way of getting together, don't you think? Hold on. Funny. Not anymore? I don't know about that. I think that we can do, if we really wanted to, we can have a way of, we can use politics to bring us together. What do you think that I advocate for? How do you think I want to achieve my goals? How do you think I intend to achieve in convincing people of my ideas, right? I'm not doing it by myself. I'm getting people together. I enjoy being in a leftist community. Policy equals politics equals, sometimes people say in politics what they mean is partisanship. Whoa. You think oh, that's not very nice, dude. I mean, listen. Like, okay, dude. If you're gonna like say your thoughts, you were doing just fine until you started going you know, in that direction. Are actually contributing to the arena of ideas in a meaningful way? Yeah. What? Do you think I agree with everything that everybody says? No. Do you think that everybody agrees with 100% of the things that I say? No, I don't think so. Yeah, partisanship. So voting is tomorrow. Yes, voting is tomorrow. And you said you didn't think so, but I called it. Well, listen, buddy, there are TOS things here, and they're, you gotta be respectful. Working together is literally the only way we can make things better. Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, what? Do you think that just because everybody's here, like, automatically just, it's all one giant, like, necessarily one giant echo chamber? No. What I'm trying to do is make sure people understand that, number one, people work better together. Number one, people work better together, okay? I just think that people, generally speaking, do better when we come together if we want to get stuff done. Number two, I think that there are certain things that society needs that should be provided considering how wealthy and powerful we are. And I think that raising the bar, raising the floor, such as providing people food, housing, education, and healthcare, will improve society, because my philosophy is always to do less bad, always to do the most amount of good for the most amount of people. And guess what? We all need each other if we're gonna do this, right? What are you studying? Engineering, nice. Differential equations, oof. Oof. A lot of people think the Tillis bill is clickbait and fake now. Well, it's definitely not fake. But I don't think it's gonna pass. Understanding. Also, I think I have to make this point. Understanding that there are fundamental problems in our system and being okay with acknowledging them will also help us realize that the problem isn't each other, okay? We've really got to get that kind of like, through our heads as a whole, right? Like, part of the social contagion, I think, is this hyper individualistic feeling or train of thought that honestly needs to kind of be rewired, right? So, yes, individuals, of course, matter, but what I say is, well, in order for the individual to be their best, you need society to be, because the individual is society, the society is the individual, right? So if you want to elevate the individual, you need to provide food, housing, education, and healthcare. So in any way, shape, or form that you look at it, I think that the stuff that I'm talking about makes sense, right? In any way, I'm just giving it to you from the perspective, if you truly believe in like this hyper individualism, you can use this as well, right? What better way to elevate the individual than by giving them the baseline that everybody needs? Some people say that it's not enough. Some people disagree with me. Some people say that it's not enough. We have to go further, and maybe we do. But I think that if we can do these things, we'll be on the right track. You're talking about individuality, which gets confused with individualism. Okay. Yeah, I think maybe that's what it is. And Rand spoke of rational self-interest. In my opinion, a rational self-interest would be one that prioritizes to all people, since we cannot know what position we'll find ourselves in tomorrow. If you are not willing to promote a society that cares about others, simple for the sake of caring about others, consider doing it for your future self. Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like basically using that, exactly, sourcing and Dorian, basically. I'm using that and kind of turning it around and saying, yeah, well, of course, if you care about the individual, wouldn't you want them to be provided with these things so that they can be their best self, as you know the theory goes. I live in Republican County, and that doesn't stop me from making allies. I can't change their mind with talking, but when they see merit of community initiatives, they help, then they start talking and understanding. Yeah. So like that's exactly what I'm talking about, right? That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's all about understanding, because like, you know, people are human beings. I'm pretty sure that, you know, if we just take a second, those who are willing to listen, we can realize that, well, yeah, maybe we do work better together. Maybe we do work better together. Maybe we deserve a better world. Don't you think? Don't you think that your children deserve a better world, or your children's children? What about climate change? Things like this. Things to consider, right? Things like what Jesus is talking about is important. Oh, good lord, sourcing. Stronger together. Still with her. Alright. Folks, it is about past 3:30, so I gotta start heading out. Let's see who's streaming. Oh, hey. You know who I've never had a chance to raid? Doc Midnight. Gotta show them how it's better. Just telling them no matter how much data we have to prove it, it doesn't have the same impact. Yeah, exactly. That's a great point. That's a great point, Azu. It's like, they don't, like, a lot of people don't realize it until they're shown. That's, oh, you know what's a good one? Usually I show to back my points is that Finland experiment. The Finland experiment basically gave the homeless, you know, food, housing, education, and healthcare, and lo and behold, a lot of them succeeded. Thanks for the follow, Christy. Appreciate that. Oof, I'm gonna have to put this one in the Discord, because this one's about an hour. But yeah, everybody should be, if anyone wants to take a look at that, I'll post it in here as well. Feel free to also post on the Discord. Alright folks, I gotta head out. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys hanging out here. Thank you so much for all the new follows. Christy Sylph, Sylph Sky, thanks for the biddies. Christy, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. iReplica, thanks for the follow. Alicat, Trash Dandy, Bad Praxis, Full Stop Terry, thanks for the follow. Jen 2020, thanks for the follow. Of course, thank you so much, Ben, for that awesome raid. I appreciate that. Tumble Dry, Maya, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the raid, Go Past Tech. I really appreciate that. And thank you, Astria, for the subscription and the gifted sub. Thank you, Heat, for the merch drop. I appreciate that. Thank you guys all for all the support. We can't do this without you. I really appreciate all of you guys being here. Thank you guys so much. Please check out, of course, you know, if you have a moment, check out the YouTubes. Good stream. Thank you. You know, hit up that YouTube's, just smack the follow button really quickly, or subscribe button, I should say. And of course, if you enjoy the channel, hit that follow button here on Twitch. Thank you, Dorian. Yes, of course. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. And of course, please take a second to look at the link, !raid. Yes, this stream is for the meantime, for this week, sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends on PC, so check that out. It does help the channel. I appreciate you guys. I'll be back Monday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. doing news and politics. As always, please stay safe, take care of each other. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next stream. See ya! Of course, we're gonna head out to Doc Midnight. I have not had a chance to raid Doc Midnight, so let's go ahead and say and give a warm ADifficultTruth raid. Alright folks, let's head out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.